K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
It got up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
Wondering why you're up early with us on a Sunday morning making a cocktail? News lately got you drinking? Hung over from the mainstream media by Sunday? We are, and we got you covered.
We sure do. We got your hangover cure for those weekly news blues. So sit back, top off your mimosa, and add some Baileys to that coffee.
Take a match to your copy of the New York Times. Light, funny, and oh yeah, news with booze.
And a lot of laughter.
Welcome to Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. And a very good, easy peekaboo. I see you in the chat room Sunday morning, baby, March 20th, 2016, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. JD and Stacey, part of that Conservative Commandos radio network with that Bloody Marys and Broadsheets, baby, here on that K98 Talk. Welcome back to all our political geeks, freaks, and back alley sneaks. Everybody within the sound of my voice right now, you know what to do. Get over to K98Talk.org. Get in that chat room. Say hello to Stacey. Say hello to the drunkest, nakedest from what they tell us and the pictures they send us, listening audience in the business. The American air is tense, thick even. Don't panic, baby. JD and Stacey got you. I think Lionel Richie's going to get tossed soon. What do you think, baby?
I think so. We were going to have this be a slow and easy kind of show, but I don't think it necessarily fits.
Not this one.
My name is Lucifer. Please take my hand.
This morning, kids, Lil Donnie lashes out at Fox. Fox lashes back. David Brooks breaks up over at the New York Times, breaks up with Obama, but says, call me maybe Weekend update, nonsense of the weekend Mo. Remember, guys, we're not just here Sunday morning, 11 a.m. for that Bloody Marys and Broadsheets, curing your mainstream media hangover. We're live again Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Game On. Do it again Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, live here on that K98 Talk for Game On. Then Friday, 5 p.m. on that WNJC 1360 a.m. Serving that Philadelphia, Southern Delaware, and Northern Jersey. This is going to be a long hour. Southern Jersey and Northern Delaware for that 4.2 million listeners, part of that Conservative Commandos radio network. Remember, guys, after the show, it won't be today. I'll get them up at some point. We're having some issues here in the Northeastern studios, but we will have the CPAC interviews up soon. You get over to Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey, JDANDSTACEY. Find a catalog of everything we've been doing here with that Ricky Tikki Tavi, Rick Robinson, that K98 Talk, and you will see that my voice on most shows is different than it is today. I mean, between what I've had going on and everything else, I'll be lucky to get to noon. Good morning, darling.
Good morning. I'm sorry about your voice.
I'm not really awake right now, so I'm not sure what it is. It's
all righty then. Then you probably shouldn't have spiked your coffee.
It's been like 65 all week. It was freezing last night. We're supposed to get about 6 inches of snow today, and there will be no heat in the Northeast studios probably until about mid next week.
Aha! Woohoo!
Only thing to say about that is
okay, terrific.
How you? Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Had a little brief R&R starting on Thursday. Much needed and much appreciated, but I am glad to be back.
And remember to get over to social media and ask Stacey about her friend with crabs. The answer is friend with crabs.
Oh, you need to stop. God, you just put that all out on the air. I get the weirdest follow today for something that I don't even understand, and I'm just like, what is this? What's the guy's name?
All right. So the way that this started is that a very good friend of mine, Bubby, Mr. Mike Ott, baby, is a crew member of the fishing boat Hot Tuna on the National Geographic show Wicked Tuna. So, guys like stuff like this, and they get all excited. And when you tell
I'm sorry,
women,
totally wrong show.
Right. So, and when you tell women things like these, they turn into your grandmother. Oh, okay. And that turns into, my friend Bubby, Mike Ott on National Geographic's Wicked Tuna. He's on the boat, the Hot Tuna, with his brother and his father and the dogs, right? They go, yeah. So this morning, Stacey sends me something. Captain Wild Bill from the boat that he's captaining on a crab fishing show, the Deadliest Catch, and she's like, "Is this your friend?" And I'm like, "No, but I miss my grandmother, and you reminded me of her today." So
yeah, thank you very much. I just knew you had a friend on a fishing show. That's all I knew.
So the whole setup is I haven't slept that much or well. I'm not up that long. I'm getting ready for the show. And she's like, "Look at this, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "No, that's not him. It's a different show." And she's like, "I wonder why he followed me." And me being an ass, my answer was crabs.
Yeah. Thank you. He follows
terrific.
He follows like 800 people and has like 80,000 people following him, and I have no idea why he followed me.
Oh, well, that completely explains it. It was a mistake. It was a misfollow.
I guess so. I've never seen the show.
Oh, I can't wait for the nonsense segment of the week because we're going to be able to use this.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Not very often we get Austrian-themed stories.
There you go.
So we're going to be covering a lot this morning, kids. There's been a lot going on. I don't think it's 1968 yet, but I will tell you something. It was very interesting watching split-screen video of bi-coastal is what the kids call it. Get your hands we can see them. Bi-coastal is different. Protests over Lil Donnie, but we'll get into that. We'll get into David Brooks breaking up with Obama and the creases in his slacks, but call me maybe. But before any further ado, what everybody is waiting for, we're going to be bringing you that weekend update by that Mr. Eric Williams and that barbedwiresatire.com, baby. This is your weekend update for the week ending March 20th, 2016. Glenn Beck lit his anger at John Kasich out on Wednesday, calling the governor a son of a bitch on his show. Thanks, Eric. Now we can't put this on NJC. Beck insists that Kasich is hurting Ted Cruz by staying in the race. Kasich corrected Beck by saying he wasn't an SOB, but rather a son of a mailman. And he was fairly sure the country he wasn't tired of hearing about how they do things in Ohio. I don't like the start of this.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who often gets confused with a toilet brush because of her hair, told CNN's Wolf Blitzer that she has no doubt America would much rather have a rapist-enabling felon picking their next few Supreme Court justices than any of the 3 remaining Republicans.
I am so apologizing to Eric. The first joke lets me do this before 11:15. Oh, yeah, son. Remember, baby. John Kasich, 2016. New Thugged Out campaign song.
I'm the mailman. I'm the mailman. Nobody mess with me. I'm the mailman. If you didn't know, I'm the mailman.
I am going to start a station and play that on loop 24/7 until people lose their mind. Sensing the upcoming
or until Kasich drops out.
Shut up! We're doing a segment. Sensing the upcoming drama, violence, and financial opportunity a contested convention might bring, Rance Priebus, you know I never saw a colored man till I saw Barack Obama from Wisconsin, has announced the Republican convention will only be televised on pay-per-view. Packages range from $39.95 for single nights to $89.95 for all nights. Don't miss a single sucker punch. Order today, baby.
Radical groups will unite for Democracy Spring starting next month, the movement to protest American elections being dominated by billionaires and big money interests. The protesters will be financed by liberal billionaires and big money interests. No word yet on whether George Soros will pay the legal fees of those who start fights on his behalf.
I see the word pedophile, so this has potential. Disgraced Subway spokesman and pedophile Jared Fogle was beaten up in prison by 60-year-old inmate Stephen Nigg. Oh, my God. Comedy God himself wrote this. Disgraced Subway spokesman and pedophile Jared Fogle was beaten up in prison by 60-year-old inmate Stephen Nigg this week. Fogle reportedly walked by the inmate in the yard, said, "What up, my Nigg?" Nigg thought it was a derogatory remark and tore into Fogle. After the fight was broken up, Eric, I am not reading the rest of this joke. Stacey, go.
An American who was captured in North Korea has been sentenced to 15 years hard labor for reportedly stealing a flag. The young man broke down in hysterics upon learning his fate, but composed himself enough to say he found comfort in the news that despite wondering if the White House was trying to free him, President Obama was able to complete his March Madness brackets on time.
I got to tell you something, Williams. Your block is definitely unblocked. I go from pedophilia to borderline racism. Great. Now here comes Hulk Hogan's package. After a trial against liberal Rag Gawker, Hulk Hogan's sex tape, Jesus Christ, brought in $115 million. The winnings mean Hulk's film has earned more than half the movies produced annually by Hollywood. In addition, due to continuous low ratings, the Oscars will add a best sex tape category starting next year. I am in for this. We're doing a whole show on that. Wrap this disaster up, please.
Everyone knows that if you disagree with someone politically, the best way to show your disgust is to block them in traffic. Anti-Trump protesters in Phoenix blocked a highway leading to a rally, and if this tactic continues in the upcoming months, many of these agitators will be able to add the title speed bump to their skimpy resumes.
And that was the weekend update, which is going to force Stacey and I to have to buy private security. Ending the March 20th, 2016 week, brought to you that man, Mr. Eric Williams, by that barbed wire satire.com, baby. Hold on a second. I have to reset the little odd radio little man in the boat. Hold on a second. You know, I like not reading these, but I think this one has made me say I may have to start reading these.
Like, skim it. Yeah.
Okay, terrific.
JD and Stacey's radio career have been brought to you by the letter H and the number 4.
Oh, God.
Hold on a second. Nothing's working here. Not just the heat. Hold on. Oh, God. Is it noon?
Not yet.
Okay, so the hand grenade of the 20,000, God, you sure it's not
2016.
Noon? All right, let me just, to the whole audience right now, this is where JD's head is, okay?
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
Right now, Stacey's head is here.
Shut up!
Oh.
So the hand grenade that has been rolled into the 2016 election, that Mr. Donald Trump. Now, I would ask everybody in the radio audience to do Stacey and I a favor. Because when the Donald first announced that he was running, I wasn't as anti-Trump as I ended up coming down on, and I was a lot more open-minded because I don't think he's a dumb man. And I wanted to see how he was going to campaign and who he was going to put around himself. And one of the things that has really both impressed and irked me about this detestable jerk-off is that
So he went from open-minded to detestable jerk-off.
Yeah, no, I've always been a detestable jerk-off. I was open-minded to Donald Trump and then have realized that he is a detestable jerk-off. All on the same page? Okay. So one of the things that I have to admire and I detest about him at the same time is that he is very good at applying a pejorative label to somebody and having it stick. Whether it's Lion Ted or Lil Marco or whatever it is, he's pretty damn good at it. I mean, he basically castrated Chris Christie and turned him into an ancient Chinese court eunuch the other day on stage.
Oh my God!
And big manatee that he is, and he sat there for his fish, And he's another one. Missing that state trooper's funeral, he should be shot. But the one thing I want to circle back, and I want to ask the audience, I'd like you to start referring as much as possible to Donald Trump as Lil Donnie. Lil Donnie, L-I-L,
Lil
Donnie.
Donnie.
And Donnie with an I-E. Mm-hmm. And I want you to do this for two reasons. Because this thin-skinned Alzheimer's patient that we have as the front runner, one, if he sees it at some point, will probably respond. And you can keep that and show your kids. Look, kids, the guy who blew us up and turned us into a third world country sent me this. But he's going after everybody. And this week it was Megyn Kelly really hard and Fox on top of that. Would you like to go into and explain a little of this to the audience?
Sure. And I don't really, nor can I completely find what started his latest Megyn Kelly tirade other than he dropped out of the debate and a lot of people.
Well, wait. What I honestly think if you look at the corresponding time for this, it had to do with the last debate, her saying that his claim about Trump University not having an A rating, him walking and giving her the paper and her going, no, we're a news org. I think that's where, if you do the time on it, this is about where this new Megyn Kelly hatred came in.
Yeah, but it really amped up this week, I think, when he dropped out of the debate and people started saying, again, he didn't want to have to answer her questions because she is not a Trump sycophant. She does not excuse all of his terrible behavior, like a Sean Hannity, like an Andrea Tantaros, like an Eric Bolling. She and Brett Baier, I honestly think, try to do the most objective job of vetting all of these candidates, not just Donald Trump. And he refuses to be vetted. So this week, he started going after her again. She's crazy Megyn, and her show depends on him because she bashes him all the time. Well, you know what, Donald? If people had a problem with a pundit bashing you, they wouldn't tune in, saying she's obsessed with him. I kind of disagree with that. It sort of seems the other way around to me. I just think
I'm your number one fan.
Megyn Kelly audio.
Yeah. Hardly, though. I mean, when she talks about Donald Trump, she talks about him in the context of the race, what could happen at the convention, what the future delegate counts look like. But she's talking about Cruz and Kasich, and prior to Rubio dropping out, Rubio as well. I just don't see the level of bias there that Donald Trump is trying to claim. And I was not a huge Megyn Kelly fan prior to the election.
Ooh, I was always a Megyn Kelly fan. I would walk a mile and a half. Oh, anyway,
but stop.
The reason for this is very simple, and it is the fact that they have spoken against the Reich. Do you not understand? We are in a new time now. Strong man, yeah. You must listen to what I say. You want to know? I tell you why. Because I listened to Leni Riefenstahl and Goebbels. All right? Corey Lewandowski is about Goebbels. Yeah, okay, good. So now Germany, German, World War I, build it, 1, 2, 1, 2, boom, give it all back. Oh, World War II, Germany, oh yes, very Prussian, build it, 1, 2, boom, give it all back. Then, you know what? Then we turn into this, we country just known for Dieter and Hans and Franz and Scheiße videos, yeah? No.
Yeah.
No more now. The Führer, the Donald Trump, will make sure there's no speak bad about the Trump. I am somewhere between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Hitler right now.
But when you take a look at the broader picture, okay, Eric Erickson has been very critical of Donald Trump, started back at Red State, right? He bounced him from the convention for his comments about Megyn Kelly. Because he has come out as Never Trump and is in the public eye, he now has security at his home. Sierra Marley, former colleague of ours when we were on
another network.
Yeah, that other network. Very bright young conservative lady.
You picking up
that other network? I almost said it.
Well, it's not really a network. It's more of a platform and a snack table and a bad cell. Anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead. A former colleague of ours, who is a very bright young conservative lady, was sent a video of some guy pulling out a knife, opening it, and stabbing his bed after she did an anti-Donald Trump tweet. Dana Loesch has received some ridiculous levels of threats, and so has Megyn Kelly, to the point where Fox News is concerned for her personal safety.
And I think what's absolutely disgusting, and coming up on the other side of the break, we're going to pick up on Fox's formal response, Brett Baer stepping up. We're going to get into David Brooks breaking up with Obama saying, call me maybe. But I think that, this goes back to Stacey and I have been lucky enough to spend some time with Rick Unger, who is basically David Webb's liberal on satellite radio.
We love some Rick.
Just a great dude.
Awesome dude.
I can't tell the stories about Rick at CPAC with Stacey and I on the air. And he's just a lot of fun. And it's funny, to Stacey's point, because now you're seeing on the right the same tactics employed by the left, what you were talking about, that visceral hatred. And before we go to break, I want to leave you with what Rick said to us. We were walking back to the Gaylord Hotel. We were going to the Belvedere bar to meet David Webb and have a drink. And he just kind of stopped, and it was Stacey and myself, and I think your dad was still with us at this point. And we're like, what? And he goes, you know what? He goes, you know what's a real shame? And we were like, what? And he said, I come to these things and I think about the way that you guys, who think completely different and opposite from I do politically, I think about the way that you guys treat me. You treat me like a rock star. And he said, you know what a real damn shame is? He said that if he had taken us to Netroots as his personal guest, we would have been treated like garbage, but we love our audience, baby. So stick around. You go top off that drink, tighten up that stink. You go help you get yourself whatever going to make you think. JD and Stacey here, K98 Talk. Hey, Lionel, I'm moving your bumper for some nib.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
The staff of K98 Talk and the Spark Radio Network is proud to announce that our very own Rowdy Rick Robinson has been selected as one of the top conservative talk show hosts in the nation for his program America Off the Rails. Again, congratulations to Rowdy Rick Robinson for a job well done and another reason to stay connected to K98 Talk and the Spark Radio Network.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
You've got a business. You didn't build that.
The feeling most people get when they hear Barack Obama speech, Mike, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I mean, I don't have that too often.
Steady.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. Ricky Robinson, host of America Off the Rails, will tackle the important issues facing America today as he tries to keep America from coming off the track. Get ready to hear the truth every Monday through Friday starting 6 Central here on K98Talk.com and the Spark Radio Network.
Welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy.
From the Vikings of Norway to my home down south to Washington, D.C., I've been around. I've seen it all, and I've come out on top. You better beware, for all you know, the bell tolls for you. Enter the bell tower or watch your step. 8 p.m. Thursdays, K98 Talk.
Welcome back to K98Talk.org. JD and Stacey, BloodyMarys and Broadsheets, not only curing your mainstream media hangover, but as part of that Conservative Commandos Radio Network, we are your radio acid trip. Get over to that chat room right now at K98Talk.org. Say hello to Stacey. Say hello to the drunkest, nakedest, listening to the radio political audience in the business. You should see the pictures they send. Oi, welcome to the show, kids. I think we might be firing Lionel Richie this week. Remember, kids, we're not just live at 11 a.m. here. K98 Talk for that BloodyMarys and Broadsheets. Do it again Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that Game On. Live edition of Game On again Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then Fridays, 5 p.m. Philadelphia. We got a little radio show in town, Big Whoop. You want to fight about it? It also covers Southern Jersey, Northern Delaware. So on the WNJC, 1360 AM, Go Eagles Bing. And remember, Hooples, after the show, not during it. Get over that. Where are they going? I am so tired. Get over to Spreaker.com. Hashtag JD and Stacey, JDANDSTACEY. Find a catalog of everything we've been doing here on that K98 Talk with that Ricky Ticky Tavi Rick Robinson. Welcome back, baby.
Hello.
I cannot wait to have my regular radio voice. You know, we said about 2 weeks ago when we came back, you know, that there's something that is a true maxim. All you kids out there, remember this. They say, you know, once you go C-Pack, you're going to need that Z-Pack. And whatever kind of conservative, you know, conservatives are better at everything, including viruses. Because whatever I picked up down there was like being, it's like Ebola. Like, where have gone?
Oh,
you know,
they're not necessarily better at things like planning conventions, though.
Oh, and I'd like to take back last week's shout out to the Gaylord Hotel for crediting back that charge. It's still not credited back. More to whatever the hell your name was in customer service. Jesus, she sounded like she worked there when they had the horse and buggy valets. Oh, what? Well, where did you stay?
Sorry, guys, I just got booted out of the chat room.
All right, so even though Brett Baer is only 3 apples high, he did some standing up for Megyn Kelly, no?
Yeah, no, he did, but I kind of liked the way Megyn stood up for herself a little bit. You know, she is a professional. She did not call him out directly. She did tweet an article about Donald Trump's favorability among women, not Republican women, which is a problem. And she also said to another commentator, I have the number 2 political talk show behind Bill O'Reilly. I haven't had Donald Trump on in 7 months. You can keep your ratings and not do that.
Well, and the other thing is that, you know, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to mention that in the other segment. You know, one of Trump's things that, and again, you know, Stacey and I were speaking about this, that this is going to be a populist election. This is a populist election, which kind of changes math consideration and all of that. And, you know, it could be for the better, it could be for the worse. But, you know, one thing about populists is because Selena Zito and Jay Costa have been doing the best writing on this, but because of the nature of populism, you can have Trump go, oh, and she's a nobody, and da-da-da-da-da, and all the cultists, really great. Take the Kool-Aid, grab the machetes, go out, and they take the voodoo doll and mark it up. But you really have to look at, the historical reality and arc of Megyn Kelly's career. Megyn Kelly was doing part-time journalist reporter spots for the local television station when she was going to law school. Why? Because she was a smoking hot blonde that could get paid on television to speak about.
Well, and she's kind of smart too. I mean, she's not.
Is, but the whole point is, Bill O'Reilly, who, take him or leave him, has had the number one rated cable news show. I mean, he gets network type numbers, and he was the one who originally said to Megyn Kelly when she came over that you're going to be a star. I want you to circle back now to the credibility languishing Sean Hannity. Hannity had that primo
credibility languishing.
Yes, that's about polite.
That was so nice.
I must be losing it. But his slot got moved from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I mean, Megyn Kelly is her lead-in is the largest cable news show for the last 20 years. This woman has ratings probably that double the other networks combined. So, he can say whatever he wants. But like you said, the reality is she's quite accomplished.
No, she's very accomplished, and she is absolutely correct. Starting with the first debate, he would have nothing to do with her. He wouldn't. I mean, her show has got to be the only one on Fox that he has not phoned it in or sat down for an interview for multiple times. And her ratings have not suffered. And a lot of the popular logic in the mainstream media and other places, well, if you don't cover Trump, it's all ratings based. I think she proves that there's plenty of people that want to hear something different than that.
And even if it's not different, at least something that's fair. So I think to wrap up on the Fox side, you had
you don't have to hear Donald Trump himself.
No. You had Bret Baier jumping in. He said, quote, "It bothers me." And this was Bret Baier speaking to the Daily Beast on this. "It bothers me," Baier told the Daily Beast on Friday, and this is from the Daily Beast, on Friday evening, when asked about the Republican presidential frontrunner's obsessive attacks on Crazy Matt's what it is. Jerkoff's calling her Crazy Megan. Lil Donnie, you hear me, Lil Donnie? Lil Donnie! Lil Donnie! Lil Donnie, when everybody say it with me, Lil Donnie, with little doll hands, and little doll hands. I had to marry a porn star and a stripper because you know what else is little? Not just my doll hands, not just na-na-na. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You gave me time to sneeze.
It bothers Brett, and you want to know what? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the only reason I'm on this show, so that I can speak when she has to sneeze. Crazy Megan, he said, "It really upsets me that everyone should boycott the Megyn." Oh, this is moron. "Everybody should boycott the Megyn Kelly show," he says. "Never worth watching," and on and on and on. Bret Baier stepped up for her. Fox has a great statement you can find on their website about it. Let me ask you a question. Did you want to roll into the cash and in segment, or you want to go with Brooks breaking up with Obama and Call Me Maybe?
Well, I mean, I think the cash and in segment, that reappeared on TV yesterday is kind of important, because what it's also showing is conservatives who actively, oppose Donald Trump are kind of getting pushed off of Fox. When you look at cash and in, who used to be a regular contributor to that particular property? Well, it was Michelle Fields. Michelle Fields has an issue with Corey Lewandowski, the thug, and all of a sudden, she's on a week-to-week. She no longer has a regular slot, but Dr. Gina Loudon, one of the biggest Trump sycophants ever, is sitting there proudly calling us all stupid. You have Jonathan Hoenig on there, whose blog is called The Capitalist Pig. He is a free market capitalist to the bone, saying he cannot vote for Trump because Trump's economic policies are so harmful to capitalism. And Stacey, Eric Bolling kind of shoving him in a corner.
Stacey, I cannot express enough to the radio audience how much radio love I have for my radio wife. We've both been very busy the last few days, and I had actually forgotten that we never previewed the cut that for the cash and in segment. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. Who's got radio love for you, baby?
I don't know. Hopefully you and the listening audience.
It's definitely me. Here is the exact exchange on the cashing in segment between Jonathan Hoenig and Eric Bolling that Stacey was just talking about. I got you.
Right. I'm going to bring it around, but I've been on record saying that I think Trump is on a trajectory to actually get 1237, maybe even 1300 if he keeps up the same rate of success. But if let's just say he doesn't get there, I'll start with you, Jonathan. If he doesn't get to 1237, he gets to 1236. You're okay with a contested convention at that point?
Well, Eric, I don't have a whiteboard, but I'm okay with people standing up and supporting the ideas that they believe in. And I think it's great that people aren't simply willing to get in line and support a front runner if those ideas are anathema to them. And I'll tell you, I mean, Donald Trump, I know he's supposed to be representing capitalism, free markets. A lot of people cannot get behind someone who advocates for tariffs or banning journalists from their events. So despite he's the front runner of this party...
The question was, if he doesn't get quite to 1237, and here it is, 1236, you're okay to contest that convention?
Well, Eric, I'll be voting for Bernie or Hillary if Trump's the nominee, so absolutely.
Okay. And you want to know what? Good for Hoenig, because Bolling is definitely a conductor on the Trump train.
Well,
How
in the world am I supposed to take an economic commentator whose show is market capitalism, okay, seriously when he obviously supports the candidate of tariffs and trade wars?
Because when you're choking on somebody's hammer from filleting them publicly for media purposes, you lose oxygen to the brain and you can't think.
I'm sitting there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I dinged myself.
Yeah,
on
you
that.
needed one of those. I let you go a little bit this show, but that was definitely a bell.
Well, I can't. I just and here's the thing. In that cut, there is a piece of audio that sounds edited to me. He begins the segment by saying Michelle Fields is not going to be on Cashing In this week, but there sounds like an edited clip in there where they added later, but we hope to have her back on at some point. And I want to, if we got a second for Brooks, we'll get into it, but I want to tie this to a point that I was making to Stacey last night. If you listen to Donald Trump and you go back and you look at a few weeks ago when he came out and he had statements about it was really conservatism that had hurt the Republican Party. I have a lot of things to say about Donald Trump. I like to make people laugh about Donald Trump, but I do not personally believe that Donald Trump is a dumb man. And I'm sitting here right now in mid-March for a man who's trying to put a nomination away, hopefully for him in April or May, but which might go to a June convention. And as divisive as he's been, he is making no outreach to conservatives at all. As a matter of fact, he is doubling down on not only kind of excising us and calling us out, but he's speaking more and more about this new Republican Party that he's looking to build. So I'd like the audience to consider very carefully that because I don't think he's dumb, I think he can be crazy, but I don't think he's dumb. I actually think this is a concerted strategy, and I want you to think about that. I want you to think about when the snake oil salesman goes out there and he speaks about the all of a sudden, for some reason, it started with 2 or 3, then it was 3 or 4, now it's 4 or 5. The last statement from Trump is, next year, all 9 justices of the Supreme Court are going to be named, and you don't want that. I mean, it was like the last time. I will be naming 6 justices. I'm going, huh? Listen, Ruth Bader Ginsburg's 187 years old. That's about it. Relax. And I think that it's a concerted effort that for the general election, he is not going to court Cruz voters. He's not going to court Rubio voters. He's not going to court conservatives. To everybody listening to this program, he's not going to court you. Do you want to know why? Because they think that they have a strategy, and for better or worse, his strategists have been right, politically at least, all through this campaign, that does not include conservatives. And I think that has to make everybody think very, very long and hard about what does that mean about your governing strategy if you're not even going to reach out and try to bring people who are your natural base back in.
Well, but his governing strategy for every policy he's articulated to date, other than strengthening the borders, is not conservative. It's not even Republican, for God's sake.
But Stacey,
okay?
But not even the borders because of the touchback.
Well, I know, but none of his died in the what in my view, what this man has actually done, okay, is excised conservatives and opened the door to nationalist populists.
Well, exactly. And you want to know what? I think
that is not my party, and I'm happy to be excised from any group that those morons are a part of.
I think you hit it right on the head, and I think that he is banking on that. There are a lot more angry, looking to lash out, visceral people out there who are more and you want to know
they're
what?
Proving it.
And I think that I also think that it's a good way to kind of excise some of the nationalists from the scene. We got about a minute and a half, 2 minutes before we go to our next break. For those of you who don't know who David Brooks is, he is the nominal conservative elite intellectuality that took over for the vaunted William Safire over at the New York Times. For those of you who don't know who William Safire was, he was actually a William Buckley type. True conservative. I mean, the Times, for all their nonsense, did have one good conservative writer. However, when he was 748 years old and he died a few years ago, David Brooks and Ross Douthat, however you say it, kind of took over that position. Now, David Brooks, for those of you who don't know, is the man who in 2008 actually wrote an orgasmic ode to Barack Obama talking about the crease in his pants. I mean, he basically, as a conservative for the New York Times, endorsed Obama. And when I said broke up with Obama, go over to the Times site and miss it. And this is David Brooks, who's bashing Trump. He's got a piece out within the last couple of weeks called I Miss Obama. But with about a minute or two left, Stacey, the same exact thing is happening now with David Brooks, right? Because he's decided to speak badly about the Reich, yeah?
Yeah, but I would strongly encourage everyone to go over to the New York Times mobile site and read an article or an op-ed today by Peter Wehner, because he will be all over Donald Trump's timeline as an idiot, a loser, not very bright. But he actually has written one of the best op-eds in my particular opinion. It's called The Man the Founders Feared. And very well done, but he will be all over Little Donnie's timeline.
And for those of you who don't know, Stacey and I here at, what are we? Well, we'll say JD and Stacey. We got a couple of different shows. Here at K98 Talk, our exclusive owners of the audio of where the idea for the wall first came up. It is Donald Trump in a donors meeting telling everybody, there have been so many beautiful Mexicans that have come through my wife's door. I vow to build a wall. Check out David Brooks' piece about three days ago in the Times. No, not Trump. Not ever. And then Lil Donnie lashes out at him. Remember, you must pay tribute. It's like the mob. It's like the Yakuza. You got to cut your thumbs off. JD and Stacey, K98 Talk, coming right back after this break.
One break coming up.
Hey everybody, this is Jason, host of According to Me. I'd like to invite you to check out my show. It's a 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes in... listen, I hate to interrupt, but one thing I can do is read off a script. Just say, let me be clear a lot. It works. President Obama, I can handle this. It's a radio promo. I'm not green. I've done this before. Did someone say green? Now, Al Gore is here. Listen, I'm just trying to record a radio promo. Do you mind? Now, do you say good things about me on the show? No, not at all. But if it makes you feel any better, I rip on Republicans just as much. The AM radio frequencies give off very high levels of radiation. Look, my show is on the internet, which you invented. Can I just do my promo? I got a pen. I can veto that, you know. I know you got a pen. It's not a law. It's a radio promo. Listen, just listen to my show. Barack Obama and Al Gore hate it, so you're going to love it. Here's an executive order. Don't listen to his show. He doesn't like me. He's racist. And he doesn't recycle either. That's it. I'm done. It's According to Me, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
Welcome back, JD and Stacey, on a good, easy Sunday morning here. BloodyMarys and Broadsheets, curing your mainstream media hangover, part of that Conservative Commandos radio network here on that K98 Talk. Everybody get over to K98 Talk right now. Say hello to Stacey, K98Talk.org. Say hello to Stacey. Say hello to those people that we've had to get security and hide from, but they are very smart. Remember, guys, we're not just here Sunday, 11 a.m., Tuesday, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, K98. We do Game On. Friday, 5 p.m., I heard about it. Eagles, boom, Philadelphia. There's all sorts of places, 4.2 million listeners. We're on Spreaker, hashtag.com, hashtag.com, hashtag JD and Takey. The show is now brought to you by the letter B and the number 2.5.
It was H and 4.
Yeah, but I think we were dropping, so I was trying to move everything back on the scale. You know what I need to reset my attitude? You know what I really need to reset my attitude? No, don't answer that live on the radio. I think Casey can do it, baby. What do you think?
No. Did you hear him buffooning this week about the Supreme Court nominee whose name just escapes me is not all that bad?
Merrick Garland. And I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. Did you see a couple of days ago somebody cut together a 60-second Vine or whatever the kids are calling it these days? I don't know. Of him at one of his rallies, and they just cut phrases. Stacey, have you seen this?
No, I haven't. You'll have to send it to me. But I did see the clip of him this morning basically saying he wouldn't enforce immigration law, and it was kind of like de facto amnesty.
Well, he just got elected president of Ohio, so he's going to be busy for the next 4 years. But they cut this thing together of Casey. And for those of you who don't know, John Dingell, who retired, and Debbie Dingell, who took over his seat in Michigan, and John Dingell was in there from the 50s. His father was in there from the turn of the century. John Dingell is about 738,000 years old. And he tweeted out at one of the debates that John Kasich tells more old man back in the day rocking chair stories than he does, and he was born during the Coolidge administration. Now, keeping that in mind, there's folksy and there's rambling. They did a 60-second cut from one speech, and it's Kasich going, UFOs, a pizza. You can't live without baseball. I mean, can you believe the traffic? And it's just all these cuts of these non sequiturs, and I'm like, who is this? Is a confused old man who escaped the home to run for Postmaster General and somehow ended up on the debate stage and has beaten Jeb Bush.
He is a very popular governor in Ohio. I think he should just be the governor of Ohio.
Okay, fantastic. That's like being the tallest midget in this particular context. Great. Everybody on stage is accomplished. You know,
yeah.
you're
His calls for Ted Cruz to drop out today did make me laugh out loud, though.
Because they're all retarded, but because Stacey and I seem to have this theme in the Nonsense of the World segment. Remember, kids, Stacey, I think that when the machines actually take over, people are going to go, you know, JD and Stacey have been warning us for years about this. Amber, they have names now. Amber Lab Robot jogs like a human. Okay, so before I even read the story, so if the robot jogs like a human, does it leave the house, run up the block, get around the corner, start walking, sit down behind a tree, smoke a cigarette, make a phone call, get up, walk almost back to where you were going, and then sprint around the corner like you've been running? What's going on with this robot here?
Well, I mean, basically what they're saying is, we've seen robots walk before, but now they have a robot that can actually replicate more complex movements like running. Now, this can be a little scary if you start thinking about them taking over, but where they're really looking to implement this technology is with prosthetics. So a better robot leg actually has some really positive impacts for some people who require that kind of treatment.
Here's my thought on it, though. If they've already taught the robots how to run, do you know what that means? The robots can now do things to us and escape. They can come up and mug you and run.
I know. That's what I said. Unless, you're worried about the point at which they're just going to take over the world, this does have some applicable technology for the current world.
The robots haven't taken over the world because I wanted to. When they were originally 16 or 17 GOP candidates, for anybody, did you ever take the kids to Disney?
Yeah, and I'll never do it again.
No, but you know what? You know the Hall of Presidents, what I'm talking about, right?
I know the Hall of Presidents. Okay. It's a small world. Yeah, a lot of robotic things.
But that was basically the first GOP debate. Yeah, my father was a mailman. We got a very, very good story. Chinese military. For those of you, and JD's a geek, so I'm always reading all sorts of world news. Argentina, by the way, just sank a Chinese fishing boat about a week ago. For those of you who didn't know.
Yeah.
You know why the Argentinians did this? Because they can withstand the Chinese. Because their navy consists of 2 rubber rafts and a shotgun. Chinese military space station in remote Argentina shrouded in mystery. Yeah, let me tell you something. Not anymore, because Argentina is about to become China. Rumors are swirling about a secret space station built deep in Argentina's Patagonia region. In 2012, leaders in Beijing and Buenos Aires inked a deal to build the so-called deep space station. All right, is this Alex Jones territory or just the Chinese forcing themselves onto a feckless country?
I think it's just the Chinese forcing themselves onto a feckless country. Apparently, the Chinese had a lot more support under the former Argentinian president, not so much now. But amazingly, China has not given out much information to the public about the remote facility and its operations.
Well, you're talking about very transparent.
And the speculation at this point is this has less to do with space exploration than it probably does to have to do with the military.
All right, next up. I think I picked this story just to use this effect.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Well, if you're a young Austrian, not a damn thing, apparently.
Why don't you tell the kids about it?
Well, apparently we're having a big celebration over in Austria because young Austrians set TV watching record with a 92-hour binge. Don't say the kids today have no skills, JD.
Do you know what my sick mind just went to?
Do I want to?
Yeah, I actually think this may have been the greatest thing that's ever happened to mankind and humanity. Who is it right now that is setting the television watching record?
The Austrians.
Young Austrians in particular, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The last time young Austrians got together in any kind of mass movement, they ended up manning guard towers at Auschwitz. So, all you young Austrians, keep watching the TV.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Please don't have any Einstein nationalist ideas, and good Lord, leave the religions alone. Okay, this is, again.
Oh, this is great.
Now, you think I'm kidding about them running away from us? Stacey, take it away.
So, criminals who happen to be incarcerated are getting very creative, and they're accessing some of their smarter friends.
For those of you from public school, that means in jail.
Yes. Apparently, what they're running into over, and I believe this is in Britain.
It was in the Daily Mirror, but I didn't read it. I think it's
Britain.
Over there.
People are now using drones to drop needed supplies, drugs, and other paraphernalia to their friends who happen to be incarcerated so that they can either A, break out, B, get high, or find some other kind of nefarious trouble inside the pen.
Can't they get high and then break out?
Apparently, the last package that was dropped, the one about this story, it had bolt cutters.
Okay, terrific.
And some drug, I think they call it spice. It's technically legal, but kind of deadly.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what? This gets filed under America's Dumbest Criminals. Yes, Spice is a synthetic type marijuana, and it is legal, but it makes you insane. It's like bath salts. You know, it's like, yeah, this is technically legal, but it's made with battery acid and chalk. And do you know
entrepreneurship, my friend?
You know what kind of a low-life moron you are when the drugs you're having dropped into the prison are actually, maybe that's why you're in jail, because you're dropping legal things into a prison. Like dropping that in legally probably cost them 5 years. Fastest hour in Sunday morning conservative radio is over. Let me ask you a question, baby. Should we fire Lionel Richie this morning and go out on some nib?
Okay.
All right. Why don't you tell all the nice people what you're going to be doing and where they can find you?
You can always find me on Twitter at @Scott'sFire with my hashtag #NeverTrump, dealing with some really interesting folks, or over at Facebook at Stacey Lennox.
And you can find me at GameOnJD on the Twitter. Back on my bar stools, alleyways, seedy situations, midget tosses, done with the donkey shows. Bested up. If I live through it, we'll see you next week, kids.
My name is Lucifer. Please take my hand.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com. If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
Giggity, 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 let's have sex.